Welcome back, investors. It's me, Adam. You're watching Unlimited Options Investing, where we're going to be talking about the semiconductors looking like they could be breaking out, as well as the rest of the sectors. We're seeing more green than red, a little bit sideways in some places, but more or less the semiconductors are leading the way today for the S&P 500 and surely the NASDAQ. We'll also, of course, be taking a look at Tesla. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, crypto, and the rest of the FANG stocks, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. It's going to be a good one. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, as well as checking out my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Twitter in my description below. Before we take a look at NVIDIA, let's first look at crypto. It's looking green throughout pretty much, something we haven't seen for quite a while. Again, our magic number for Bitcoin is 46,000. Once we pass that resistance with clarity, it could be on for risk on assets, especially technology. But again, we're not out of the woods yet for crypto, although for stocks it's looking a little bit more clear. So Bitcoin just below 44,000, up 7% over the past week. Ethereum above 3,100, so that's looking pretty healthy, up 11% almost over the past week. XRP at 84 cents, up 6% over the past week. The big one, Cardano, this one being listed on Coinbase, as I believe you can now stake your Cardano coins, which I don't know too much about. I just invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum myself. But this one up 37% over the past week. So looking like a very nice rebound for Cardano. This one reaching, I believe, almost $3 once upon a time. I think that's off the top of my head. And then at the lows over the past few months, we've seen it in the cents. Maybe it was like 50, 60 cents. Again, off the top of my head. Other names like Solana at $101, up 12.72%. Dogecoin at 13.6 cents, up 16% over the past week. Shiba Inu at 0.00000248, up 10% over the past week. And the last one I want to look at is Kronos, up 10% over the last week at 44 cents. Alrighty, so taking a look at NVIDIA, let's actually first take this line that I had drawn before and let's extend it a little bit. So this one obviously looking very strong, being the best performer or one of the best performers in the S&P again and the NASDAQ. So the first thing we notice is that we created a kind of base around the 200, 210 level. After the first time in January, we did have a rally up until the 270 mark, where we did see a lot of resistance. We pulled back to those same levels, again to that base, around $200, $210. And since the FOMC meeting, just like a lot of other stocks, we've seen a very nice rally in technology to where we are today. Again, we found that resistance around 270, and we did pull back. One would have thought that we would have found support around the 20 or the 50 EMA, but again, stocks don't necessarily have to do what you expect them to do, really. They have minds of their own. Where is the sentiment? Where is the emotion? It pivoted around 260 to where we are today, breaking 3270 for the first time since early 2022. Alright, so now what's next? Now that we've entered our channel, we could get rejected and go right back down. That is obviously a potential possibility for something that could happen. But let's assume for a second that we actually do stay in this channel. Either we find support at the bottom of it and they continue moving higher or consolidating or whatever. We could continue consolidating at these prices, and of course we could continue going higher. But again, if we don't pull back, that is an indication of an unhealthy move forward. That could be an indication of an unhealthy move. Again, the further away we go from that 20 and that 50 EMA, especially because we didn't touch it that last time, the more we go away from them, it's like a rubber band. The more it gets stretched, the faster it's going to retract. And if we zoom out from the 4-hour and let's go to the daily, for example, so your first psychological point of resistance probably is going to be around, let's say 290, then 300. If this isn't a head fake and this is the real deal, zooming out, our next level will probably be around that $300 mark, which will point as a good psychological resistance. And then after that, maybe 312, then you're looking at all-time highs. But again, we're a far ways away from that. That's if we continue moving up. We want to see, again, that staircase up, 2 moves up, 1 step back, 2 moves up, 1 step back. And also taking a look at AMD, a disclaimer, I am invested in both of these companies. The fundamentals are just there for both companies as well as the secular growth. So similar idea, we pulled back at the beginning of the year, found base around the $100 mark roughly. We rallied maybe in February time and found resistance at the $130 mark. We pulled back again, went back to this base. And like the rest of the market, it looks like it's trying to break out. Will it not? We'll just have to see. What we can also take notice of is that we've been at this resistance before at $120, specifically August of 2021 of last year, as well as support back at the end of 2021. All right, heading on over to Tesla stock. So today we're seeing a little bit of indecision. The open and where we are now, the price hasn't really moved. So far, we are seeing a doji candle, but again, it depends how it closes, and usually what controls the end of the day and how things close is big money and Wall Street. It looks like the moving averages could be crossing on the daily. We really have seen yet another epic move by Tesla up from the low 700s to where we are now, just above $1,000. Do we want to see a pullback into a potential rally? Absolutely, but Tesla, as we've seen before, tends to do whatever it feels like, gapping up here, there, or wherever, going up, going down, and just playing with people's emotions. But one of the best stocks to trade, in addition actually to NVIDIA, because the swings are so large and the volatility is there. Not to mention, if you did have a bad trade, for example, in either one of these companies, you know for sure that you could hold either stock because of their fundamentals for the upcoming years, just in case your trading goes badly, of course. Otherwise, not much else to say with Tesla until we get some kind of decision for the rest of the day. We could see that pullback back to the moving averages around $900. That's where I would expect buyers to step up, or we continue with the leg higher. It's nice to see a little bit of a breather today. Now taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily, and as I said before with crypto, it's looking like it could be getting exciting, but yet we're not there until we break this dreaded blue line, this resistance of $46,000, as we've been saying over and over and over on the channel. Our uptrend is still intact. And let's just say we do get faked out, we still have about $37,000. This area over here roughly acting as support. Turning the page to Ethereum, this one also looking pretty good as well. Looking like the moving averages are going to be crossing soon. Our uptrend looking pretty nice. Not to mention as well, we just crossed this $3,000 mark, which is a pretty solid psychological area we see back from last year in October, as well as support from back in August, September of last year. Similar to Bitcoin crossing 46,000, we want to see 3,400 get crossed. Once we do that and find some support on it, then again, it's going to be really on for risk on. Kind of weird to say, but you get my point. All right, and quickly going through the SPY, the NASDAQ, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, starting off with the S&P 500. So we've had this rally again since the FOMC meeting. We found strength above the 50 EMA on the daily. We do want to see some kind of consolidation or pullback to make this market healthy, just like NVIDIA and Tesla, of course. And if we get a crossing of the moving averages, look at about $440 to act as dynamic support. Looking at the NASDAQ, the QQQ, this one's snuggling right on that 50 EMA, so it's holding up for now. Let's see if it continues. But we are seeing the consolidation that we like. If we do get some kind of pullback, look for that 20 EMA to act as support. But I forgot to mention this with the S&P 500 because it looks very similar. I'll show you guys in a second. But notice here and here how we did go above the 20 EMA for a little bit, but we got faked out. It could be a similar situation where we are above that 50 EMA. It looks like we're finding support. It looks like we're finding strength, which we have been, of course, but we can also get faked out and go back down to who knows what level and where we're going to find the buying pressure again. And going back to the SPY, the S&P 500, again, similar idea. We were right at that 50 EMA. It looked like we were going to recover back into our channel over here. We actually got faked out, so similar thing could happen now. Not necessarily. We could continue finding strength and recover. Who knows where the market's going tomorrow. And closing off, looking at big tech, firstly with Apple, this one just seeing so much strength. How many days in a row have we had a rally? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green days in a row. Wow. And you know what? Apple held up pretty nicely over the past few months with the market going all over the place. What saved the market? Apple and Microsoft. So from the peak at around $180 or so, from peak to trough, we went to about $150. Which of course is a pretty sizable downturn, but that being said, it's not like it went down 30, 40, 50, 60%, like a bunch of other stock in the indices, especially the NASDAQ. And of course, because Apple and Microsoft make such big portions of those indices, that's why they didn't go down further than they actually did. Next up, taking a look at Microsoft, this one on a nice little rally as well since the FOMC meeting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, but now it looks like we're consolidating, so not as strong as Apple. And the key area that we want to get past is this 310 level. If we're able to consolidate and break through that, it looks like we're going to be testing all-time highs, not that too distant in the future. But again, big if we're able to cross this $310 mark. Next up, Google, which I find trades very similar to Microsoft. This one needing to break the neckline of about $2,800. It's pushing right up against it right now. Similar to what NVIDIA did today, if it does something like this and then breaks through, that would be definitely positive for the stock. because next up you're looking at 2,900, and then after that you're looking at all-time highs pretty much for what I think is one of the best deals in the market, given what I think is one of the best investments over the next decade. The last company that I wanted to look at, it's Amazon. So we have base, rally, a potential crossing of the moving averages, and right now it looks like we're consolidating between 3,200 and 3,400. And honestly, a lot of these companies are trading very similar to one another, with such a strong rally in technology and risk-on assets in crypto, of course. It's just, when are the sellers going to step up? It's anyone's guess. Let's just hope for a healthy market. Otherwise, that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching as always. Let me know in the comments below. Do you believe that NVIDIA is going to recover, or are we just getting head faked and continue going lower? Let me know your ideas below in the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check out my Twitter, my TikTok, and my Instagram. Thank you very much for watching.